Have you ever considered the study abroad program here at SLCC? Well, today we'll talk with one of our students about their experience with the study abroad program. They traveled to India. Stay tuned, Bruin Lens is coming up. Welcome to the Bruin Lens. I'm your host, Greg Mooney. I'm joined today by Noah Lewis, an SLCC student and the editor-in-chief of the Globe newspaper here at SLCC. Welcome, Noah.
Thanks for having me.
You bet, man. It's good to have you. Let's get right into it. What made you want to go to India? Why India for the study abroad program?
Yeah, well, so there's a number of options, obviously.
Yeah.
There's Costa Rica, there's Ghana, there's Japan. But India was the one country that kind of stood out to me as this place that was so uniquely foreign that I had to go see it for myself.
I've never been to India, but I've heard from people that are close to the scene that when you get out of the cab in Mumbai, the punch of urine scent is like a slap in the face.
Oh, yeah, it's pungent, to say the least. There's this sort of dichotomy of these, five-star expensive hotels, and then you have the stench of sewage. So there's a kind of this ongoing, I guess, conflict of like necessity versus want, and it's very apparent.
Man. Well, that's like we as Americans, we've been outsourcing to India for a long time.
Right.
So I'm sure their economy is as varied as it can get.
Right, and it is an emerging economy, and it's steadily moving upward, but there's a lot of growth that has to happen. Now,
when you went over there, what was it that was your initial impression? I mean, what did India give to Noah?
Right. Well, hopping off the bus from the airport, you immediately get hit by the humidity, the heat, even at night.
Oh, yeah.
And then, the following morning, wake up and go out into the streets, and there's dust everywhere. Traffic's really dense. The smells, obviously.
Absolutely.
So just kind of the sensory overload that I experienced was something that was really kind of crazy.
That's one of my favorite things about traveling is waking up the first morning.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just a dream, you're actually in this place.
Yeah.
That's kind of mind-boggling, really.
Right. Especially
that's
after
another side of the planet.
Yeah. Well, it was 35 hours of flying to get there.
Where did you end up flying into?
We flew to Chicago, spent a few hours there. I actually got off and walked around in Chicago for a bit. But then we flew to Frankfurt and then to Delhi.
So Germany, New Delhi, wow.
Exactly.
That's significant flight time.
No, it really is. It was pretty
and it's almost 12 hours behind us, isn't that right?
Yeah, it's 11 and a half hours.
Did that mess with you?
Well, I've been to Japan enough times. I go virtually every year, so that's a 12 or 13 hour difference,
You just jumped right into the game?
Yeah.
Can you take a nap and just kind of flow? Or
that wasn't an option because we were doing 10 hours of activities a day, traveling.
Damn, 10 hours?
Yeah, and then I would have to come back and write some articles and stuff like that. So
you're a busy kid, man. Do you find any time to go out and do any nighttime action? Do you get on Tinder over there? What's the score?
I did actually. It wasn't that bad.
I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't.
But I didn't have that much time to go out. Towards the end of the trip when we were in Mumbai, we had a little bit of time. But otherwise, I was staying up till 2 or 3 in the morning writing articles.
Getting all your writing done. But did you get out and get to taste the nightlife?
Not really.
No food, no nothing?
Food, absolutely.
Did you go out to restaurants, or where'd you guys eat?
We went to a couple restaurants, but for the most part, we were kind of served by whoever we were staying with. And there would typically be...
I bet that was amazing.
Exactly. An immense spread just wherever you go. And they tell
Indian food is my favorite, dude.
Oh, yeah. It's one of my favorites, too.
Oh,
but
man,
they'll tell you guests are gods, and they'll do absolutely anything for you. So
guests or gods?
Guests are gods.
Oh, guests are gods.
Yeah.
All right. So they treat you like gods.
Yeah.
Man, that's all right.
It gets to be a little much, though.
Yeah, then you come home and you're just some schlub in Salt Lake, Nobody's here to kiss your ass.
Right. Plus, when you're treated that well, they'll spend 2 hours doing everything for you, and then you go somewhere else and they have a whole presentation. They do the same sort of thing over again.
It's got to be kind of exhausting.
It is. It most certainly is.
I don't think most people want their ass kissed 24/7.
No.
You know what I mean? You kind of want a real deal Holyfield this trip,
That's right.
Get in there and have somebody treat you like the grimy underground that you're visiting, you know. But I don't know. I mean, what was...
Maybe that's just you, but I don't know.
That's definitely how I roll. I don't know, you guys. I get robbed everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. But I'll digress for the moment. But what really fascinated you over there? Is there one thing that stuck out, or is there a handful of things that really impressed you? What is it about India that really made you want to go over there?
Well, like I said, it was just someplace that was really uniquely foreign.
Sure.
While I was there, honestly, I was doing so much and we were doing so much that I didn't really absorb everything or didn't process.
Yeah,
especially
until you
since
look back on it.
Exactly.
Too much to intake.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things going on, a lot of noises, a lot of sounds, smells,
it's all
that stuff.
Too, yeah.
Exactly. But what I would say is that the housing crisis in Mumbai is something that really struck me.
They have a large homeless population, I'm assuming?
Substantial homeless population, specifically.
Do you know what percentage at all?
I can't say off the top of my head, but they do have around 150,000 kids who are living on the street.
Wow. That's
under the ages of 14. So,
whoa.
Yeah, it's pretty rough to see, but that was something that was...
Do they not have an infrastructure to take care of that, or is that something that's just kind of lost? Because they're not really a first world country.
Right,
they're known as a third world. I know their economy's rising. But
right. So obviously there's certain levels of corruption that kind of stymie any sort of bureaucratic or government movement. And as a result, things like homelessness or education kind of get left at the wayside. So.
Well, that's an interesting thing you say, that the education too, because they're one of the more educated populace in the world. I mean, some of the highest percentage of doctors and lawyers, if I'm not mistaken, are coming out of India right now.
Right, that makes sense because they have a substantial population outside the country. They're I think they have the most expats of any nation besides China.
Wow.
And
based on numbers alone.
Right, makes sense.
Kind of odds it out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there something over there that really made an impression on you?
You know, I'm going to have to go back to the guests are gods thing.
Yeah.
That really kind of shook me in a weird way, I guess.
Is that because of the disparity between what we do here at home versus what they do over there? Or?
More the disparity between what they're doing for us versus what they could be doing for people who actually need help or things like that.
All right. So you're saying that you're kind of impressed by the fact that they're so charitable towards their guests, but not of their own people?
Exactly. There's a degree of discomfort that comes with receiving that treatment.
Oh, yeah, man.
So.
I mean, just seeing that type of people like on the street and you're being so well taken care of has got to be tough.
Yeah.
Did that make it tough coming home?
Absolutely.
Is that one of the things that really kind of gave you the gut punch when you got back to the U.S.?
Yeah, just kind of recognizing the level of comfort that I have here in the U.S. and that a lot of people do have is not at all the case in a lot of other countries.
No, man. So. You're lucky. You're lucky to get to do that. I mean, there's a lot of students out there that are probably considering the study abroad program. Is there any advice you'd give to anybody that's looking to do this?
Yeah, so I would just say keep an open mind. Just absorb all you can. Try and be present and process everything. That's something I wish I had done a little bit more of.
Did you take 1 million pictures?
I did. There are so many that thousands, literally thousands.
Now, quick sidebar, does everybody have an iPhone over there too?
No, so they actually primarily
So do you feel
don't.
like a little bit of an asshat when you're walking around with your iPhone snapping photos, or is that
a little bit, but they really like Apple products because they can't get them.
Oh, okay.
So
are you worried about
Apple.
you getting lifted?
A little bit, but we were usually traveling in a group, so it was not too much of an issue.
No, that's impressive, man. I'm stoked that you came on to tell me about it.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us today, Noah. You gave us a fascinating look at India and the experiences offered by the Student Study Abroad program. If you want more information about the Study Abroad program here at SLCC, visit slcc.edu/studyabroad. That's it for this episode of the Bruin Lens. For more episodes of the Bruin Lens and other shows from the Student Media Center, search youtube.com, SLCCSMC. Also follow us on Facebook at the Student Media Center, and we're also on Twitter and Instagram at SLCCSMC. I'm Greg Mooney. Thanks for watching the Bruin Lens.